2s, but we'll, of course, announce when day 2 is when that occurs. Let's take a look at the decks. On the House of Lords side, dual Kodiak, Jenner 2C with Dario, and Jenner 2C with Peef Smash, both of them with the Splat Jenners, dual Black Widows, and dual Hunchback Forest Piece. So we're going to have ourselves a little bit of a brawly rush, it seems, just like they did at the tail end for SJR. On the Stormjag side, dual Kodiak 3s, Hunchback 2CAs, Timberwolves, and Jenner 2CA Energy variant. Let's get in and take a look.
Yeah, Lord's going with what worked for them against SJR. They won their match with that Hunchbacks and the Black Widows, going with more of a brawl push.
In we go. I wonder if I can... I'm going to try something. Let me know if this audio is too loud. I'm going to play music in the background here. It's too quiet. All right. All right, mechs are on the way, so let's get in there and take a look. All right, so we are on the Lord side. Their Alpha Lance is actually pulling out. They are not trading across, but there was nobody to trade across with. Fabrosian and that Hunchback 2CA is bailing out. Looks to me like Storm Jaguar is setting up in the high ground, going for map control from on high, but Lords moving up to the left side of stage. See if they have... they're going to have some ground to cover to be able to get in there with this brawl. And if they can sneak in a hit on Theta, that might be pretty big to end up with a 3-cap. But Lords is moving up aggressively. They want to get into a position where they can engage. Those 4 SPs leading the way, of course. Hunchback 4 SPs, very tanky brawlers. Let's see what the builds are. Large pulse lasers on those, so they aren't actually SRM brawlers like I originally stated. They have LPL, so they have a little bit of reach, about 400 meters optimal. But initial shots up to the spire just to keep their heads down, and that allows Lords to...
Storm Jaguar doesn't have all their mechs in a position to be able to shoot at this approach.
We got something going down back here. Peef Smash actually getting jumped by both lights. He's going to get out alive, though, down to 69%, but Legal Department is staying on him. They're going to have a little bit of support from the rest of the team. The DACA coming in on Legal Department, getting stuck on terrain a little bit, but it looks like Peef Smash just got legged. This might end up in a gank, one-shot leg, and they take him down.
Here comes the other light. And the other light's backing off for Lords, it looks like. Actually, no,
Dario turned around. He's going to push in on Terciel, who has his back turned. He does spin around just at the right moment. The UAV is up, but now we got the 2 lights versus 1 again.
Yeah, meanwhile, Lords has pushed into Storm Jaguar a little more. They haven't gone as aggressive as you might expect, but they're about to come around this corner, and Storm Jaguar is hurt.
Well, they got Lords stopped at the corner. Airlock, who's perfectly fresh, moving up to the front, putting some shots into Abigail, who stepped a little bit too far out, gets mauled down. Core Knight is the next focus target. They're going 5 versus 1 on him, essentially. Both lights are dead for House of Lords. Mad Edge goes down. They're just going down the line and killing these guys one at a time. Here come the Jenners, but they're too little too late. Lords did turn around, though, so now they've effectively started backstabbing almost by accident. Energy goes down to a back shot, and Terciel and Legal Department are in there. They're forcing Lords to turn around and answer him. Terciel gets legged, and he goes down rather quick. Legal Department trying to bail out. 4 dead for Lords and 3 for Stormjags, and it is a lot closer than it looked before, but another one falls. Frost Pendragon is dead. Vonka in that Hunchback 2CA.
Light gets legged.
Let's see how hurt he is. Everything is open on him. And that lead Airlock is coming out, and he is going to put him down. So
and Airlock is fresh.
Woo! 8
that
to
was a
5.
closer than expected fight.
8 to 5 in favor of Lords, but that did get really close. As soon as all those Lords mechs turned around and started walking back to the main body, or the remaining mechs for Stormjag, they almost gave their backs to the lights and got a free kill on Energy. But they turned around and were able to handle them before it got too bad. If they got even maybe... If they got Airlock down, that would have been huge. Let's see how Q-Bert's doing. He's doing pretty good still. That's a standard engine. And one shot on Bowser to CT, if it's a good shot, could potentially take him out. So it was relatively close. Airlock doing the best out of everybody, though. Goodness gracious. All right, 8 to 5. That was a brutal, brutal, brutal fight.
Yeah, I honestly think that Lords kind of hesitated a little bit, made it closer than they needed to be, pushing around that corner.
Also
Storm
losing
Jaguar
Peace
was just
Smash in that
not
gank.
set up. Yeah, and losing Peach Smash especially. But Storm Jaguar was just not set up to be able to fire on those mechs as they were coming down.
And a lot of them
Too
were
many.
fighting like 1 versus 5 as they
Yeah.
came around the corner. They played tight to the corner and were able to isolate. Abigail was stepped so far out from the rest of their team that they just never stood a chance. It was just not good trades, and they were pressed up. The rest of them were like pressed up against the rocks, and they just went through one at a time and never had more than one mech really putting a lot of fire into them as they came up. But 658 coming out of Bowser there, an impressive amount of damage to really make
Both
up for
Kodiaks
anybody who
still alive for
underperformed.
Lords. That's huge. 200 tons worth of mechs staying alive in those two alone.
All right. Well, real quick, let's do another standard mech pack giveaway. Let me load up the names. And here we go. And the winner is Kish Squared. Kish Squared, you are the winner. Message Bandit P17 with a whisper with the mech pack you want. You know, I saw people whispering me that didn't actually win. I see through your game. I have a list.
Oh, that's sneaky. I didn't even think of doing that. I should whisper you.
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna not know that that's you. I'll be like, shut up, MD.
Hey, Bandit. you know who won that last one? That was MD. MD won that last one.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, so we're watching it right now as Lords begins their charge up. They did a really good job suppressing those high peaking. I think those were the Hunchback 2Cs up top. Might have been I think, was there Timberwolf up there?
They got a Kodiak up high at
Really?
the end there. But
Well, either
I'm
way,
not sure-
Lords doing
I'm
a
not
good
sure if
job
he started up there.
with the moving power position, keeping their heads down, getting the strikes up there. P Smash getting jumped. They did get a little bit of shots in on those lights to help him, but not enough. He gets legged and taken out. The other light moves up to try and back him up. But that was a really good gank there on P Smash. It was very, very well done. Very well executed. That was big. Dario then moving up to try and put some pain in. Terciel whipping around at the last second to absorb those shots to the front armor. He almost got back shot by that, but that fight's going on. But then we see Lords moving up, and then they're stopping at this corner. They're underneath the lip, so they can't get hit down there from on high. But then this setup here is what bothered me. Abigail way too far out to the right. All they do is step forward, drilling that mech in the chest, and everybody else pressed up against the wall, and it was just one after the other. Not too much else to say about that. It was just brutal. The guys up on the spire end up jumping around to the backside, and that's where we see Lords then spin around and start walking away, and then here come the lights up. Free kill on Energy into the back. And then they start turning again to handle the lights. It's a good effort on Wildfire there, but the legged Terciel goes down. Legal department overstaying his welcome under the hail of fire. Does get Wildfire down, but Wonka is just too open, and Frost was as well. Goes down under a blaze of glory, and Lords takes drop 1, 8-5.
And
So
leaving
we're-
those Kodiaks alive is just, it's too painful.
So we are going into drop 2. What sides are they on?
They have elected to keep the same side. That Storm Jaguar, as the loser in drop 1, gets to choose which side they want to play on, but they like Team 2. I wonder if they'll just set up a little differently and try and have a better sight line to receive a push coming from Lords, because it doesn't look like... actually, they did change it up a little bit, I think, on their drop decks.
All right. Just waiting for both teams to get readied up so we can take a look at the decks. All right, let's go in and take a look. All right, House of Lords looks like, is this pretty much, oh, they got a Spider 5K in there now, Kriven. Looks like Peef Smash is not in there anymore. They've opted to bring in Kriven in that Spider 5K. Team 2, Storm Jaguar. Thinking that's pretty much the same as what they just had.
I think they brought the same deck, yeah.
So let's go in and take a look. It might just be all about positioning. Let's see if Storm Jags can pull this into a 3-game series.
I really think that initial positioning for Storm Jaguar might have cost them that match with how close it wound up being. That whole, the first half of the approach there basically was uncontested for Lords.
All right, let's go take a look. Bowser rocking the 4 Goss.
Oh, a little bit of a proton
Goss
feel.
PPC out of Airlock. 5 ER large lasers out of Energy with the Grasshopper. 4 AC5s from Wildfire. And here come the Jenners. Psychoholic with some early PPC shots. So I think Stormjags now knows it's not a brawl coming in. Seeing those PPCs coming across. Energy with the ER largest. So Stormjags needs to set up now for trades. This might be a long one, ladies and gentlemen. Strap yourselves in. So the lights are going to have to start worrying about caps pretty soon here.
Yeah, if I was Stormjag, I would be going for the caps.
We haven't seen Lords do like a heavy range deck in quite a while, have we? It's usually been a lot of Docket. This might be the first time I think we've seen such heavy Goss and PPC coming out of Lords. It's been a while. We'll see how well they can trade against Stormjags. I think Stormjags actually prefers that they trade, because Stormjags put a lot of focus on the trading as a team.
That being said, right now I think that Lords has the advantage in the damages. It's really early. There are a lot of scratch damage, but doing pretty well so far.
There's that Kodiak right up on top there, getting some shots in. But how we got on the movements here, Storm Jaguar taking Sigma Kappa. Looks like somebody, well, these guys are overwatching Theta, so Theta is going to be out of the question for quite a while, at least for Storm Jags, because Lords has such a good overwatch. Now we have a heavy movement on the left side. They've moved up now. I wonder if Storm Jaguar sees this coming. I don't think they've received any fire.
Taking a lot of damage right now on that Hunchback. Let's see how he's doing on his armor. And he is open CT and taking more fire. He is in bad shape right now.
Vonka up top. Center torso
Jaguar
open.
needs to get ready to receive this team on the left here.
One thing to note, Frost Pendragon in this Kodiak, I think he's a right-handed mech. So he's going to be just using his Goss for a while sitting up in the Spire. That's cutting his damage down pretty hard. It also means he's going to be exposing mostly those shoulders, which if they get cred out, that's going to be bad.
Brutal shutdown. He is really hurting right now, and he is stuck.
Cornite getting hit too.
Both Timberwolves are in terrible position. Mad Edge.
They're getting hit from that Overwatch. They just have no answer for those mechs up on high there, and he gets shredded down. They are sending the lights up to handle, but it's too little, too late.
And there's a light now on top of Fabrosian here in the corner.
UAV goes up, so they know those lights are there. While this is happening, House of Lords has pushed around. Fabrosian is getting jumped on by that Spider and the rest, and not looking too good. Down to 5 mechs for Stormjags. They have the cap advantage right now, but they're going to lose the rest of their team if they're not careful. Looks like Frost is setting up for a last stand around the corner, and it's going to be bloody. If they all ignore him, though, maybe he can get a shot in.
And here come the Spiders.
Abigail. Yep, Spider in on the backfield. Frost Pendragon getting surrounded now by multiple mechs. And this one's going to go in favor of Lords, and you know what that means.
Storm Jaguar, unfortunately, first team out on the North American side.
They fought hard. They definitely fought hard, but Lords just had a very clean approach, very clean battle. That first one was relatively close, but this one, no contest. Looks like it's going to be potentially 8-1, and that is it. 8-1.
That is the case. And it's important to remember that Lords did wind up in the loser's bracket playing against the second seed in a 2-1 decision. That was a close matchup that they had. They are a very, very good team. I don't think there's any shame in Storm Jaguar getting knocked out by Lords in the tournament. They played very well, especially keeping in mind that Storm Jaguar is a combo team, something that's usually pretty hard to do in the competitive scene, kind of combining two teams that aren't necessarily used to playing with each other. Obviously, in the qualifiers, they got a lot of practice with it, but still, you know, you've got two teams that they're used to having their own drop callers, their own play style, and you're putting them together. It can be tough. They did a very good job with that. Unfortunately, just not quite enough tonight.
No contest on the damages across the board. Lords just superior on the output, landing everything very, very well and just shredding Storm Jags down. They definitely were not trading very well, and Lords was moving together in those power positions, punishing anybody that peaked incredibly accurately. And there you have it. So Storm Jags knocked out of the top 5, but you know, it's definitely an achievement to get this far, as you said. So congratulations to them for making it this far. But Lords is going to move on. Taking a quick look at the bracket here. Lords will move up to fight 228, and that's actually the next match that is going to happen. That's the next and final match for today. We'll be skipping to match 6, another elimination round, 228 versus Lords, to see who else is going to be knocked out. And then